Alright, so we're dealing with a little bit of an oil leak issue here. I've been trying to clean up the bilge a couple of times here, and each time they return, a little surprising given that the engines were just recently serviced. I thought it would have gotten caught when they were servicing the engine, but here we are. No choice but to deal with it myself. As long as I don't have to remove the engine blocks or anything like that. Hopefully this is one of those things that just need a little forethought and to work out the issue. So I'm gonna clean up the oil. Don't worry, they don't go to that part of the bilge that gets drained outside. You just go to this little through under the engine. They're not getting mixed up with the water, so I wipe them off with oil pig, I don't know, whatever they're called, but they're oil absorbent mat. I'm gonna get some of those further out, and I think I identify where it's all coming from. Yeah, boat yoga. All right, so that's I guess I can clean it up a little more. So if it returns, I can tell whether I've completely dealt with the leak or not. So I spent most of yesterday trying to trace where the leak is coming from. There are a couple of suspects, but most obvious here, given the black patches and streaks, it's this remote oil fill adapter casing. And if you look here, it's a little bit blackened. And ditto on this bolt and nut also. But that's no silver bullet. However, if you pay attention here, that is really slick. So I suspect the leak has to do with this hose here. I'm praying and hoping this tightening the ring clamps will do the trick, which is what I'm going to do. Because the other side has similar issue too, but the bilge is much better looking there. So yeah, I think we found the culprit. In the meantime, I'm going to wipe it off clean. The pattern of the streaks also matches. It seems to fall into this starter solenoid, and it gets spread out into those tiny little streaks that end up pooling down at the bottom of the bilge. Not the bottom, not the water, the seawater bilge. Yeah. Alright, that's all clean up. If it returns, I'm gonna know. Next thing is to find the matching hex socket that will let me tighten those. So let me crawl back out here. I should probably wipe it off the cables too. They can't be good to the cables because they will soften. They'll soften the jacket here. All right, and this thing is also bent out of shape. To get has to be. Might need to be zip tied somewhere. Okay. Like down there, maybe. Or just like that. Alright, let's get to it. That looks like a 10 millimeter. I'm gonna start with that. Right, 10 millimeter. Will help. And don't know if I'm gonna need that. Let's bring it along. Looks a little bit big. I'll take a 9 millimeter with me too. Yeah, good yoga, right? Nope, 10 is too big. 9 is also too big. All right, let's go back out. Let's try 8. Yeah, I'll take an 8. All right, is set in the right clock direction. Alright, tighter. Okay, and then I'm going to turn to this side and do the same thing here. They don't tighten much more. Well, I probably need new clamp, but let me see if this is the source of my leak. Oh, I totally need new clamp. And that's that. We'll double check in a few days if the streaks return. If not, I've got the file boss. This can also use a new gasket. As you can see, oil is sipping through the edges of the flange here. Same goes there. Although that looks to be in a more decent shape than this one here. Like, there's no sipping through the bolt. Oh. All right, well, I can only do one thing at a time. I'm going to check back in a couple of days. GoPro, stop recording.